Well, hi once again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the 19th Hole Podcast for golfers. I'm your host, Dennis Silvers. We appreciate you tuning in every week, and we've got another very good show for you. This show, it's going to be a little bit different. The people that know me, that have followed me, know I absolutely love politics, and the show today is kind of going to be one of them theme type shows because it's going to be about politics. We have a gentleman on who has declared himself to run for governor of the great state of Nevada. So we want to spend some time with him, as we had done with the mayor of North Las Vegas, with Sheriff Joe Lombardo and whatever. So, we're all about giving equal time. And the nice thing about our guest is he plays golf, and he is not playing too much, obviously, because he's busy running for office, but we'll talk about a little bit about golf with him, too. Let me tell you about Dr. Fred Simon. Is a practicing trauma surgeon who has been involved in healthcare spanning 40 years. He was formerly the medical director of trauma services at the very prestigious Scripps Institute in beautiful San Diego. In addition to patient care, Fred has served as an instructor for U.S. Navy medical residents as well as Marine Corps medics in the art and science of trauma care. Fred is a husband and father of 3 grown children. He lives in northern Nevada and operates a restaurant as well in Minden, Nevada. And as I mentioned, Dr. Simon is also a declared candidate for governor of the state of Nevada. So without further ado, let's let's bring up the doctor and welcome him. And Fred, if it's okay if I call you that, welcome to the show. I know that you're busy as hell, and we appreciate you taking time out to come on the show.
Dennis, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
You're more than welcome. Fred, one very important question to kick us off, and that is, what kind of restaurant do you own, and why the hell did you get into the restaurant business, which is tough to say the least? And the second part of the question is, I need to know whether you have early bird specials.
Well, first of all, Dennis, I have a restaurant that really is for the community. It's a 2-level restaurant. It's done just like the same wood in a cheesecake factory. It's Italian. We have northern and southern Italian. I have music 5 days a week. So it is not just a restaurant, it's a venue. And I'm part of the community. And I go in and I wash dishes a lot of times.
I love it.
I'm washing dishes at least twice a week.
I love it.
I go to Walmart, I buy food. I'm really integral in it. It is a very tough business.
It's extremely tough.
Running a major trauma center is easier than running the restaurant, honest to God.
Yeah, because with a restaurant, it's not a question of walking in and say, okay, what's going to break? It's walking in and going, okay, what broke today? Is it the refrige or whatever? Because I know a lot of people in the restaurant business. Do you ever wait tables and make some tips, Doc?
No, I don't do that. I 65% of the people in my restaurant are teenagers, so I have a mentorship program. So I bring them in as bussers, and by the time they're there for maybe 3 or 4 months, they're waiting tables. They do a great job.
That's great.
And then I have the teenagers mentor the teenagers.
That's great.
They learn to be teachers.
There you go.
It's really a cool deal.
That's super. That's very cool. That's very cool. All right. Let's get into it. When did you first get interested in politics, and what made the decision for you to run for governor?
Well, if you want to look at my history of politics, it goes back to Walter Annenberg, Castle Pines Golf Club, summers during the international tournament. I sat and talked to Mr. Annenberg several times on a porch. And of course, he was very close with Richard Nixon. And then it segued to Gerald Ford, who was a friend of my parents. Played golf with him at the Thunderbird Country Club.
Nice.
Connection there. Claude Harmon, which was Butch Harmon's father,
Right.
and connection to Tiger Woods. So golf and politics kind of go together here a little bit. Spent a little time with Gene Autry.
Wow.
Yeah, the cowboy, and discussions about Ronald Reagan. And after all this association with sports and politics, I was hooked. They're kind of similar. You don't want to slice the ball too much in politics, and you certainly don't want to hook it.
No, that's a good way to put it.
Sure. And so, then I started looking at all the social ills, and trauma is the window to all America. Homeless, gangsters, geriatric population, child abuse, elderly abuse, motor vehicle crashes, alcohol, drugs. And I started to connect the dots. And I started to look at my expertise, having grown up with a father in the automobile industry. And I ended up with that automobile dealership after he died. He gave me a great education in business, common sense, dealing with the public, mentorship. And then I had my trauma background. And I thought, well, this all fits together for government. And fundamentally, I never had agendas anywhere other than to do a really good job.
That's
So trauma is you're working under controlled chaos, and government's controlled chaos.
Yeah, that's a very good way to put it. That's well said. Doc, with politics being so damn cutthroat, so partisan, and people receiving a lot of scrutiny, why would you want to give up such a great profession, such as medicine, to get into the political swamp?
I think a better question is, why am I giving up my 40 to 50 days of skiing and my cycling to get into this mess?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I have a 23-year-old, a 21-year-old, and a 19-year-old, and I got all my kids in my restaurant. And I'm sitting there going, the legacy of this country is the youth. They need an example, they need some education, and they need a leader. And a leader gets people to do great things. Leaders don't necessarily always do the great things, but a leader is an influential person who tries to get things done with other people and take accountability. And that's all I've done my entire life. I don't care how nasty it gets. Dennis, to be honest with you, you can't hurt me unless I let you. And I've lived a pretty good life. Bring the game on. I know it's a game. Try and hurt me, you won't. I'm a relentless, self-contained SOB. And I will fight for what I think is the appropriate thing to do. Yeah. And I'm not going to do it based upon money or personal preference. It's going to be in what's the best interest of the communities.
Yeah, that's great. Just to sidetrack for a second, of course, with COVID and the lockdowns and all that stuff, telemedicine, which has been around for a while, has really, really taken off. Fred, do you see telemedicine sticking around kind of forever now?
I think telemedicine is the future, especially in rural communities. I volunteered on the Navajo Indian Reservation years ago, and I worked with the medical director of the Indian Public Health Service. If there had been more funding, we would have been able to do an entire telemedicine program within the Native American healthcare system. In rural America, we have a problem as far as the number of physicians. And you can connect a very solid nurse practitioner with a high quality physician at another center and be very efficient at diagnosis, treatment, and follow-up by telemedicine. but it's not very well organized right now, but it's not that difficult, and it will be around.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, let's get into some specific issues that are problems here, I believe, in the state of Nevada. First, how are you going to help and support all of our police agencies within the state and make sure this defund the police crap doesn't happen?
Well, I look at things kind of on the reverse side of what a lot of people, how they look at it. I think we disenfranchise our communities by defunding police. And I think it's more costly. We have more crime. We have more innocent victims that cost money. We have more problems with the offenders, the cost of the judicial system. And in the long run, defunding police costs society more money. It costs more violence. There's a bigger issue with narcotics and opioids. We know this is a fact over generations, that when you have less law enforcement, the drug problem increases, the usage increases, and therefore it's counterproductive. So I actually believe we need to spend more money in law enforcement than less, and it will pay for itself out the other end.
I totally agree with you. All right, last question before we take our first break, Doctor. Tourists as well as residents have become very worried about the growing homelessness problem here in Southern Nevada. As governor, what do you plan on doing not only to curb the problem, but to try and eliminate it altogether?
Well, first of all, you have to look at the etiology or the cause of it. The majority of homelessness has something to do with mental illness. Unfortunately, our society years ago decided that we did not want to put energy and money into mental health facilities. It is many vets who have had problems with PTSD and drugs, a lot of people who have genetic mental illness, and then we have our alcohol and drug addictions. So my view of this is, one, we need to invest upfront because people don't see the cost of this on the backside.
Right.
We spend a tremendous amount of money of healthcare dollars that nobody sees, social services, and in essence, I feel like communities are disenfranchised because the homeless are places that are where taxpayers pay for the community, and then they have to pay the money to deal with the homelessness.
Right.
So first and foremost, we address the mental illness issue. We have to go through the legislature. We're going to need to actually put people on hold to get them on proper medication over a proper period of time. They need a proper assessment, job training, social service, and reinstitute these people into society, and then excellent follow-up.
Yeah. No, that's good. I like that. All right, Doctor, stick around. We're going to step away, take our first short break here on the 19th Hole Podcast for Golfers. We come back, we'll have a lot more with our special guest, Dr. Fred Simon, candidate for governor of the state of Nevada. Be right back.
When I first learned about Encore, I was a little taken back because I didn't know much about the ball. I went out and played a couple rounds with it, and I was just extremely surprised how this ball made up for what I was looking for in a golf ball 20 years ago. It's a very straight ball. It launches a little higher than other balls that I've used, which is ideal for the tour because we're playing firm and fast greens. A lot of the balls do fly very similar, but this ball reacts so much differently around the greens and inside 100 yards than any other ball I've ever played. The combination of this ball is the best ball that I've ever played.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Before we continue with our interview, you notice we have a new commercial spot in there, the Daily Divots, which is absolutely hysterical. It's if you subscribe to it, you could get it every day. It covers golf. It covers primarily golf, but it covers other topics as well. It's absolutely hysterical. It's well done. It's presented by Click It Golf. You can go to clickitgolf.com and check them out. They've got some great websites as well. All right, continuing on with our interview with Dr. Fred Simon, who is a physician. He's a restaurant owner. He's a golfer. He's running for governor. He's a busy guy. Fred, there are approximately, if memory serves me correctly, 250 appointed citizens to various boards. For what reason, I don't know. Do you have any plans to eliminate some of those and eliminate those people and some of the boards that I think are kind of like overlap and unnecessary?
Well, Dennis, I'm a person who believes in limited government. So I think we have a fair number of people on boards as well as employed professional bureaucrats, and we need to limit that. We need to utilize that money for community services. I think more employees, as I've learned in business, is not always better. It's having quality employees that know how to do their job and create greatness. And that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I totally agree with you. Your first day as governor of Nevada, Doctor, other than making me your press secretary, what's the first order of business for you when you get to Carson City?
I will be by myself at a podium telling the legislature, put a damn bill on my desk for voter ID, or I won't sign any other bill. The core crux of America is to know that the citizens of this country and the great state of Nevada believe that elections are free and without any interference.
Correct. I noticed you blew over the making me the press secretary part, but that's okay. We'll kind of revisit that. Or your
Dennis,
media,
you're gonna
or
be
your
my golf
media
partner once a
liaison.
week.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
You're going to be my golf partner once a week.
I'd love to. I'd be honored. As you know, Fred, tourism is the lifeblood of Nevada. What plans do you have to increase the tourism, not only in Southern Nevada, in the Las Vegas Valley, but all through the state?
Well, I think first and foremost, we touched on the issue of safe communities and safe cities. We have issues both in Reno and Las Vegas with gangs and crime. That's going to be addressed immediately up front. We need to make our areas of tourism aesthetically nicer. We have to make sure that take care of our environment. We have proper forestry, that we have proper care of all of the facilities, that we bring people in here for hunting, fishing, skiing, and make it extremely attractive. And we could do that without spending a lot of money. It just has to be a focus and energy put towards that. And then the other thing is, I think we have to do better marketing. We are competing in the area of gaming around the world now, and I think we got to up our game.
I agree with that. I agree with that. That's nice to hear. If you were running Nevada right now, Doctor, what would you attempt to do about COVID right now? And you're the perfect guy to ask since you're a physician.
Well, fundamentally, anything I do is data-based. I just don't go out and make a decision by people telling me that this should be done. If people come to me and they show it data-based, then we'll have a discussion. COVID is a very interesting subject right now. There's a lot of propaganda, and then there is the details. People may not want to hear this, but this virus was created back in the early 2000s when the genetic sequence was manipulated. and it's a pathogen now. It's a pathogen that isn't going to go away because it involves a host of human and animals. It can be contained. It's not as serious as everybody's making it out to be. Where are all the serious flu deaths? Did the serious flu all go away? So we have a lot of criminality in this. We have some healthcare in this, and we need data to go forward. One thing we have been doing, I've been going to school boards. I have been getting mothers in different counties going to other school boards. Where is the data for the mask mandate? They provided nothing. Most of the data, there were 3 studies funded by the NIH, which is Fauci, that proved that masks were not effective. Where's the data from the CDC? Doesn't exist. Industry makes billions of dollars off different things. Where's the data from industry?
Yeah.
Who does billions of dollars of research?
Right.
So therefore, I don't think masks work. Here's the big thing about COVID. No other serious infectious disease has been handled like this one. It's all been done by herd immunity. And the vectors are usually young children.
Right.
Why did we vary from that?
Yeah.
And part of the problem is we still need to get herd immunity, not through vaccinations. The Israeli study has shown you're 13 times better off, okay, with natural immunity than vaccines. Too much propaganda. We need the real information. As governor, I will produce all the solid information, and then the other side is what we call the brown information that doesn't have basis.
Right. Doctor, I need you to just to sit up a little bit. You seem to be sinking on me, and I love your shirt, so I want to see as much of it as I can. Well, let me ask you, why do you think Governor Sisolak has an opposite view that you do? He's all about masks, children wearing them in school and this and that and the other. Where's he getting his information from?
Well, fundamentally, I believe Sisolak is practicing medicine without a license. And tell us who's supporting him. Where's the evidence-based medicine?
Yeah.
So, if he's not right, he's negligent.
Yeah.
And if he's negligent, he should be sued. But he doesn't have the right information. I think this is all about control. I think this is about control over the population. I think he's injurious to small business. He continues to shut us down. He didn't shut down big business. Costco, Walmart. I'm having to do takeout and I walk into Walmart every day.
Yeah.
So do I think there's a conspiracy theory? No, I think there's a conspiracy.
Interesting. All right, doctor, stand by. We've got to take another short break, and when we come back, we'll finish up with Dr. Fred Simon. So stay with us. More of the 19th hole coming at you right after this.
One of the buzzwords happening in golf is the word lag. You hear it all the time, but what is it, and how do I get it? Lag simply is the loading of the club to help produce tons of power in your golf swing. Up until now, getting lag into your swing has been very hard. Introducing the Lag Shot, a brand new proven training aid being praised by some of the leading PGA Tour instructors across the globe. This practice aid trains your hands, arms and body how to make a powerful, efficient golf swing with an amazing amount of lag. Lag Shot is a 7-iron length club with the same loft and lie with a whippy, flexible blue shaft and a beautiful jet black club head. After you master the Lag Shot, your game will change forever with a stress-free swing, more power and more distance with lower scores every time you play. Go to lagshotgolf.com and you'll see why this truly is becoming the #1 training aid in golf. Visit lagshotgolf.com. As golfers, we want instant gratification when it comes to a better golf swing and playing better golf. Impossible, you say? Not anymore. Golf Boost Artificial Intelligence, AI, has developed and patented the most advanced swing analysis technology in golf. Simply, the algorithms detect your body position and then analyze your golf swing using their artificial intelligence technology. The AI captures all the relevant data from your swing video and then presents you a personalized lesson. Golf Boost AI is the ultimate swing analysis and virtual instruction system for golfers of all ages and abilities. This sophisticated software takes into consideration your height and build, playing level, and returns the ideal solution for your swing. Bottom line, Golf Boost AI is an incredibly convenient and cost-effective tool for golfers to improve their swing. Go to golfboost.com and check it out. The app is free to download and try. Visit golfboost.com today.
All right, welcome back into our interview with gubernatorial candidate Dr. Fred Simon. Doc, as you know, the real estate market here, I don't know so much about northern Nevada, you could speak to that, but here in southern Nevada, I mean, it is hotter than, Britney Spears in a bikini. A lot of people coming from California. Others have. Do you think this is a good thing for the state? Can it cause problems with all of these people moving over? And I'm not picking on them individually, but let's face it, Californians have a different ideology than hardcore Nevadans. How do you see that going forward?
Well, I think it's a combination of population increase, industry coming in, but when the Fed continues to print money and continue to print money and continue to print money, you are causing this economic problem. And the only way to deal with the printing of money is taxing, borrowing, or inflation.
Yeah.
So we're seeing an inflationary problem secondary to all this money printing that the federal government's doing. And so part of this is coming from the federal government. Now, as a state, we're going to have to get this under control because our citizens cannot afford housing. And all we're doing is having these people come over and spend lots of money, and they are getting a better lifestyle in Nevada, but they're bringing their politics, which is not healthy for the state.
Right.
And we're getting some good conservatives over here, but not all. This is a huge problem that we're going to have to deal with the federal government and the printing of money. And we're going to have to deal with this from the standpoint of our developers. And it's not an easy solution.
No, it's not. It's not. It's an interesting time in both commercial and residential real estate here. But that kind of gets into my next question, Doctor. Schools here in Nevada are having multiple issues with teachers, curriculum, funding, and particularly with the reputation that they have gotten. What would Governor Simon do to alleviate some of that? Because as you know, there are multitudinous families moving out of the state because they're just saying the school system here sucks. So what are you going to do about it?
Well, the school systems here does suck, Dennis. They're 49th out of 50. So Governor Sandoval passes the largest tax bill. Money goes to schools. We're still 49th over 50. And the United States is 25th in the world. And so then you put us at 49 over 50, the teachers union, the teachers, everybody's got to own it.
Yeah.
There's not underfunding, there's overfunding. You've got superintendents making $250,000. You have failing schools. They'd rather teach social emotional learning and critical race theory than arithmetic and English. The kids aren't getting basic fundamental education. The colleges have given us the assessment of this. 40% of kids who graduate with a high school education in Nevada need remedial training to just go into a basic job.
Wow.
Think about that.
Wow.
And 30% of kids who are in the Pell Grant students don't even make it through college. So that's a waste of our citizen money that goes for taxes.
Right.
And what we need is school choice. If we got good school choice, the money follows the children, whether we have homeschooling, Christian schools, Jewish schools, independent schools, charter schools. Okay, we create an environment where people compete for the dollars, and I guarantee you education will improve.
I
guarantee it.
I agree with you because it is seriously a major problem. All right, a couple things before we wrap it up, Doctor. First of all, when are we going to see you in Southern Nevada? I mean, when are you going to start campaigning here? When am I going to get you down here to play some golf so I could kick your ass? I mean, come on.
You'll easily kick my butt. I just got to throw this into you. Think about this foursome. Gil Brandt, who was the architect of the Cowboys, Hank Bauer, Moose Skowron, first baseman,
Wow.
and Coach Bobby Knight. That was my breakfast. And then I went and played with Coach Knight and Isaiah Thomas. And how about that one?
That is pretty good. That is pretty good. I love that.
And I just got to tell you this one story. So I got to play with Billy Casper one day. And Billy Casper, was the best for the short game. I got to tell you, I never had a bigger rope around my neck that day. I shanked, I hit it left, I hit it right. It was terrible.
Yeah. No,
so I hope I play better with you.
Oh, I'm sure you will. I've had Billy on the show. I have been blessed enough to play with Billy Casper. Just a wonderful, wonderful guy. Had great stories, and I'll tell you, I miss him. Before we let you go, if people want to kind of put some money in the tip jar for you, help you along with your campaign, what do they need to do?
Well, that would be appreciated. It's simonforgovnv.com. simonforgovnv.com.
Okay.
And you will all see me down there, and I will be coming knocking on people's doors. I'm a candidate who wants to see the people.
Good for you. Amen to that. Anyway, Doctor, thank you so much for coming on. I know Nick tells me you've got an incredibly busy schedule. Thank him for me as well. And we'll keep track of your progress, obviously, and have you on again sooner than later. So I thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Dennis. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you. All right, Dr. Fred Simon, everybody. All right, we're going to get into our game improvement tip of the week, brought to you by Scratch Golf Academy and the wonderful LPGA. He's a PGA Tour instructor, Adam Bazalgette. See, the Doc's got me so mixed up. So here it is, and we'll follow that with a couple of commercials, and we'll come back and wrap up the show. So we'll be right back.
Okay, we all know that putting counts for a lot in golf, short putting for sure. And this is a little drill based on some information from a fantastic book that I read that I suggest strongly to you. It's called Every Shot Counts by a guy called Mark Brody. Head of the Columbia Business School, he crunched down the ShotLink data from the PGA Tour and also amateur statistics and came up with value judgments on how shots can be measured and how strokes are gained. Here's a little putting drill that will help you determine how you stack up with the best putters. Now you'll notice the hole over here, I've put 3 balls that you can see probably 10 feet away from the hole. I have a pretty accurate pace, so I just paced off 3 paces, added a foot, and that would be within 6 or 8 inches of 10 feet from the hole. And it's crucial that you go at different angles. And the game is you have to putt 10 putts. Now, I wouldn't put 10 balls out because you want to create real games to sort of reality feeling. So by the time you've set the next 3 up or the next 2 up, gives you little breaks and makes it more challenging. But the long and the short, you have to hit 10 putts from 10 feet at different angles to the hole, not the same angle, and then you measure your score. And here's how you're going to score it. If you hold the putt, that's 2 points. If you miss the putt, but your first putt at least gets to the hole, that's 0 points. If you miss the putt, but your first putt fails to get to the hole, where there'd be no likelihood of making it, minus a point. And if you take 3 putts or more, That's minus 3 points. So how many points do you think would be the average thing? Well, here's what it is. A tour pro would average about 7 points. That's the median tour average. An 80 shooter, a typical 80 shooter, would be about 4 points, and someone that struggles to break 100 or shoots right around 100 would likely be probably minus 1 point. So do this drill, see how you stack up, and you can do it again on different days. Try to make it as realistic as possible when you do it. Different angles to the hole, little breaks, and you'll get a chance to measure how effective a putter you are.
When it comes to golf, I'm a man of few words, as you'll see. Looking for out-of-this-world technology in your golf ball? Encore Golf. Looking for exceptional performance and durability? Encore Golf. Looking for the best performing ball for the price? Encore Golf. Check them out at Encore Golf. That's ONCORE golf.com. Your scores will thank you.
Innovation begins at a single point. Elements, each with their unique character. Fire-forged steel creates unprecedented control. Chemistry delivers a touch so soft, combined to create a level of performance previously unimagined. Like magic, the Elixir, the new tour ball from Encore.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the interview with Dr. Simon, gubernatorial candidate, and we're going to reach out to some other people as well, because I think it's important that the people here in Nevada see what these people have to say, what they have in mind for you, how they can improve the quality of life, the quality of government, so on and so forth. So we'll continue on that quest. But we're not forgetting about golf, because we get some great golf people coming up very soon. As you know, the Tour Championship is about to get underway. Top 30 players in the world. Huge money. East Lake is a wonderful golf course, so we hope you get the chance to tune in and watch that. So anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of the 19th Hole Podcast for Golfers. I've been your host, Dennis Silvers, wishing you nothing but fairways and greens, and we will see you back same place, same time very soon. So long, everybody.